Yo, 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 what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy CIZZY back at it again with part technically three, but we're gonna go ahead and say part two. Back with my guy Yazn. Yazn, what's popping? How you feeling today?
Same day.
Same day, different shit, same day. Hell yeah. We ran into last week. We what was it last Friday, or last Thursday. Anyways, last week, let's say in the last 7 to 10 days, we linked up, knocked the episode out. And then literally like 2-3 days later, ladies and gentlemen, it's just God's timing. We ran into each other at Hy-Vee, you know what I'm saying? Shopping for some snacks. My man, what was you shopping for?
I was just getting some quick stuff, man. I was in the area, and I just grabbed I don't remember.
Well, you don't know if you was grabbing milk, cereal. Come on, my man.
This was like, what, 2 weeks ago?
You done forgot. It was like 6 days ago.
Oh,
nah, but we had to cop some snacks for the crib, cop some milk. Shorty just found out that she might be allergic to milk and egg whites, which is random. So we had to pull up there and make sure we was getting the correct items.
Yo, lady.
Yeah, my lady. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we have a special guest. Y'all can't see him on the camera right now, but we have a special guest in the building. What's your name, my guy? MJ. And then, of course, we got Mark handling the audio, making sure shit is fresh. But I'm just blessed and happy that we're able to make this happen again. So let's talk about, first off, we got to start off with the fit of the day. So let's break down this fit, because I see that you branded out. I don't know if you did these, but if you did, we would love to hear the full fit right now. I think this angle can catch the fit right now. So talk about the pants, talk about the shirt, and then we'll jump into the episode.
Yeah, I did these a while back. It's just they stand out. I got the logo on the back of them. And I got my logo right here. Got my logo embroidered. Yeah. So
are these dress T-shirts? Is it collared up? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a collar. Yeah.
That's clean. That's clean. My boy got the collared up. Came out with the watch. What we got on the wrist right now?
This is like original LRG.
I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good. I mean, LRG, I know like the fits. You talking about the LRG, they got the pants too. Oh, I didn't know they. Damn,
I've had it for like years. This isn't anything.
Hey, it's something. If it look good, do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? All right, man. But, I want to jump into my first question of the day. My first question of the day, I've been thinking about this for the past week, is, what about your culture, or is there anything in your cultural heritage in terms of your family ethnicity that inspires you when it comes to fashion or designs? Have you looked into materials that they use to make fits over on that side of the world, or is there any material that's made there and popularly manufactured there that you use in your creations?
I was overseas probably a decade ago. I used to see there would be a lot of silk. It would be a lot of Arabic designs. It would be Arabic words and stuff and designs. And my mother also, she draws on glass, so she does a lot of that stuff. So I think that's where I get the artistic creativity from, kind of too. Would be my mother, but at the same time, I could say my culture kind of inspires me just in real life, but not really in fashion. They don't really inspire me.
And on the topic of your mother and a little bit of an inspiration there, what do your parents think about your designs when you show them how your craft has evolved over the past few years, and how I'm sure you're humble. Well, I already know you're humble, really, because you don't really brag as much as I think you should, because you got some dope stuff that you've created. But how do they feel about it? Or do you show it to them a lot? Or is there anybody in your family that's really obsessed with your designs, or that you feel comfortable sharing what you're working on with?
Yeah. So I just finished up this backpack. It's my first ever leather backpack.
The black joint?
Black with red.
Hey, y'all gotta go check that out.
And I went back to my mom's and I showed it to her. She liked it. My father liked it. They're pretty supportive, I gotta say. In the beginning, my father would he's my first, I'd say, celebrity. If it wasn't for him driving me to Lawrence, Kansas, dropping me off, and me trying to go through a little tour buses and stuff and trying to get to that specific person, it would have never. I was too young to drive Lawrence. I was a young, an early driver, so he just did that. So he has a lot to play. My father has he played a big role in the beginning, but now as I'm getting older, it's more so kind of more independent.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then, like, while you were younger, what were like some early influences that you had? Like, you know, because imagine, like, for me, I was super into athletics, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really think about podcasts. I didn't think about business or entrepreneurship, really. I didn't think about personal training when I was growing up. So my exposure to the industries that I'm in today and the things that I'm passionate about was really late in life. How early was your exposure to fashion? Were you like really into it at like 9, or did it not start till high school? Like, talk a little bit about your early influences, or when you first were like, this might be the shit I'm gonna do.
I'd say
I know y'all hear that outside
that's why I'm kinda
downtown.
slowing it
They,
down.
oh no, you good? Outside, these boys be street racing like a motherfucker downtown.
like a garbage truck, bro.
It's crazy. They be, hey, ask my boy Mark. They
Oh,
be
yeah,
out
the
here drifting,
drag
hitting them,
shows and stuff.
doing drag shows
Yeah.
right outside. It's crazy, low key.
Yeah.
But anyways, besides that, yeah, early influences, my guy.
I started in high school. It was like sophomore year. Sophomore year, I started taking this. So I've spoken about this story, I think, a couple times on like other podcasts. How it all started. My mother, she bought like her first sewing machine on Black Friday, and she was gonna learn how to use it and all that stuff. This is when I first moved into like our like house and stuff. So I was super bored. I was hella bored. That it was just one night I'm hella bored, and it's in this office room. So I take it, open it up. I watched like a little tutorial video, but then I go. When you go on YouTube, like YouTube is literally like free college. You're gonna learn everything. You screw something up in your car, you screw anything up. Somebody on YouTube has a fix to it.
God bless
so I got
YouTube.
on there. I put in the exact name of the sewing machine. It was a Brother. That's what it's called. And I started making like little miniature wallets. It was just just sewing little, like it was like fake pleather. You just sew like one little seam, like a rectangle seam, and that's it. So it just I started doing that.
Did you start rocking that shit to school the next day? The wallet?
I had it for a while. It was like a little brown tan one, but it was
On
it
up,
just,
he's like, hey, I made this.
I mean, I wasn't really flashy back in high school. I'm not really.
Well, you wasn't trying to market yourself, or you was just trying to figure it out early on and wasn't really talking about it, like
Well, I mean, market myself. What I would
from
do,
the early,
yeah.
early on, yeah.
shit. I mean, I would Which one can I say? When I would go, all right, so I'd get my homework done and then probably go to like a show or whatever, get to a celebrity, attempt to get the photo with the celebrity, attempt to get the piece, post that on Instagram, and then like certain people in my class would talk about it. And then people who wouldn't know, they'd they'd start to know.
Yeah, this what you
know
doing,
what I'm saying?
right?
That was kind of that
yeah.
little marketing thing, and that's just how it slowly started going up, at least in high school. We had this little trade show or whatever, did that. So just been elevating since.
And so when you are like going to connect with these celebrities, like did you see someone else do that? Like, oh, did you watch like a YouTube video and the dude was like, this is how I blew my designs up. Like I went to backstage show and then I found my way to this dude's truck and then I pulled up on his security and I was like, do this? Or did you kind of just like sit there and brainstorm, how can I get this to this person? I guess I got to pull up to the show and search for this person, like, or in the vicinity. Like, how did you come up with that idea? Because that's, aside from Crash and Roadrunner introducing me to you, I know when I was looking at your page early on, that's what I was seeing. I was like, oh, he's connected with this artist got his piece on this person. And then like in our first conversation, you shared how, you know, the first artist you ran into or that you pulled up on. So like, how did you come up with the idea, or where did you get the motivation to go?
I would see like certain people doing it. You know, some of them made it happen. They are who they are today. Others, I mean, I really don't know. But it was more so common sense. It was like, if I need to get to this person, the way I used to do it, I would go into who this person is following, and then I would click on like somebody they're close to. I click on their story, seeing that they're on the tour bus with this person, and then I would see that I'd go into their comments and see like, okay, he's responding back to everybody, or she responded back to everybody in their comments. So I just would DM, and then yeah, so that's just how it would connect. I want to say like 16 or 17. That's when I had got like Jacquees another piece. That was like my first person.
Yeah, I think I was trying to remember who it was.
Yeah. But that night was crazy. I didn't expect for it to go the way it did. Familiar with Boulevard Nights?
Yep.
I got snuck in there by his security.
He was underage.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean it's over now. What are they gonna do? You know, so it was
Boulevard Nights.
It was you said what?
I said Boulevard Nights.
Yeah.
We coming for you. I'm just playing with y'all. Matter of fact, whoever the owner of Boulevard Nights is, fuck with me. I'm trying to have you on a podcast. Go ahead.
So yeah, man, it was just security brought me in, took me up to like VIP. Dej Loaf was there. They had a show together, and I was just networking. Pretty much got that photo and just left. But it was just a hectic night. It was just too much, man. And I was young at the time. And it wasn't the best. I don't want to say too much on here. But
there was a lot going on. But that's what's up, man. Look, I think we gotta, show respect where it's given. I don't even know how to say that. But anyways, I want to show respect to you for like having the motivation and the determination to go out there and get in front of these people. I mean, when you think about a young kid, trying to like hustle and get out there, you can easily be starstruck by, I mean, not anymore, or for some people it's not the case, but you can easily be starstruck by the fact that this person's a celebrity, they're big, or like their security is going to be there, or these people are going to be there. I'm underage. There's so many obstacles, and you decided to go do it anyways. So I think one thing that is really dope and that I can respect and appreciate is the fact that you might have had some internal fears, but you went anyways, and you went and tried to connect with these people anyways, and you're still doing it, running into you at the airport, like, just random shit. Whether it goes well or it doesn't go well, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You're still getting up and you're going out there and you're trying to connect with these people. So you got to respect it. And like, how do you think about marketing now today, aside from like pulling up on people and taking photos? Like, what's your approach today, 2022, in terms of getting your name out there as a designer?
I mean,
globally,
social media, of course, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter, using hashtags. These days you gotta put money behind marketing. You gotta put some sort of paid promo or whatever. Like you gotta do that. If you got the funds to do it, I'd say do it. I've done it before. Some of it has worked. Sometimes it hasn't. And what still works for me to this day is like word to mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's the best way, because at the end of the day, who can like advocate for you more than somebody that's already bought your product, Yeah. And who else would somebody want to hear from? If you come up and tell me, yo, MJ's t-shirts was fire, like you need to cop one of those, versus MJ sends me a DM and he's like, yo, I got some neat t-shirts, I'm gonna be like, first off, respect, keep hustling. Yeah. And it's not even like a big boy shit, like, nigga, I'm out here struggling like anybody else, but I'm gonna be like, cool, like, you just, somebody else shoot me about messages about t-shirts, that happens all the time, but you come up to tell me, and you my friend, I already know you, and you're like, hey, boy, that boy's stuff is cold, then I'm more likely to go check it out. So I love that that's been what's working for you.
Yeah, nah, man, I mean, I think now, like, I just took it to a whole nother level. Some people would tell, I'm acknowledging it myself. A lot of people would tell me that, like, now you're doing more than just garments, more than just clothes. And it's just a lot.
So when you think about like these pieces that you've been creating, are these considered one of ones, like these backpacks, these bags? Like I know I've seen you do a few super dope duffel bags. The backpack you just created, are these one of ones, or are you like, is it made to order? Like somebody's like, yo, I want that too, and then you like, all right, send me the money and I go make it. Like, how do you kind of run your business and like pull in money today? Like, how are you like making sure that it's steady income's coming in so that you don't have to go like work at Hardee's?
Nothing wrong working at Hardee's. But,
hey, ain't nothing wrong, but ain't nobody trying to do that. So
yeah, no, definitely. I do a lot of like one-of-ones. People reach out to me, whether it's email, Instagram, whatever. They'll be like, I want this color, that color. And what I usually do is have them send half the deposit, create the piece, and if you're out of town, I'll ship it, send another deposit.
Got you.
But like eventually, like I'd like to create one bag and get it manufactured, but still, I really don't want to devalue the brand by doing that.
But like, you feel like if you go and find somebody to like manufacture something, since you couldn't have that hand on hand,
Yeah,
like
I'm very big on quality control, bro.
Nah,
Very
that's real.
big on quality because all it takes is one product and one bad review, in my opinion. And me is just gonna make it's an internal thing. It's gonna just make me feel some type of way. Some people may not care, but me is just like I want to make sure every single person is satisfied quality wise. Creativity's there, you know. I'm creative, but I care a lot about quality and longevity.
That's real. That's real. And so when you think about like continuing to grow your business, whether it's as well as your personal brand, are you like, I'm staying in Kansas City, like this is my home, I'm trying to rock it out? Or are you like one of the people, which is fine because I'm kind of one of those, do you feel like you need to leave the city to continue to grow? Or do you feel like, no, I'm going to stay here local, thrive, and then put Kansas City on my back? How do you approach things in your brain around being a creative and representing a small town like KC?
I try to move with logic and reality more than emotion. That's what a lot of people do. I'm well aware that I won't have all the growth here, so I book a flight to LA and go work or go network or go build with people or go make some money out there, then come back here. You gotta look at the economy. Everything's high as hell. So I have common sense to where it's just like here, it financially makes sense. I move right. I'm not in everybody's face. Me personally, I don't club, I don't party, I don't this, I don't that. So a lot of liabilities don't come my way to where like something could happen to me. A lot of people tell me like, oh, you need to leave the city. But it's just like, I do leave the city. Like what? I mean, I'll move when I want to move.
Yeah.
It got to make sense to me.
Moving with intention.
Yeah.
Now I respect that. I think like one thing I've been kind of leaning towards, like since I moved back to KC, like before the pandemic, is like I think KC could be like my home like base, but that I could also, as long as I have the money and I'm building my business and traveling like with intention, that I can pull up in any city, take care of business, and come back home.
That's exactly like that's
It's like moving like tech. Tech gave us the blueprint in regards to that. Everyone feel like they got to leave completely.
You know what's crazy? I see Tech Nine all over the fucking place.
Bro, that boy is everywhere.
I seen him when I used to work at Walmart. I seen him there.
You see that motherfucker in a parking garage. He just be, hey, that boy be in random places. Yeah. He be at the Independence Mall buying some freaking, what is it called? Auntie Anne's pretzels.
Yeah.
That boy just be everywhere. Real hometown hero for real. But
that's a legend, man.
But he moves like kind of like how we're talking about right now. Is like, KC's his home. You know, he's around town. People see him. He makes sure his face is seen. But he hits his tours. He goes to his different cities to take care of business. He goes and makes his money, and he come back home with it.
That's all it's about.
And if you can do that, and like you said, make sure that you moving in a. Everyone always feels like they need to leave the city because they're feeling like. I kind of understand it from a certain perspective, but what I see a lot of people doing is they be capping like they got ops, but they don't have ops, and they just feel like I need to leave the city because these boys trying to get me. Nobody's trying to get you, man. Like you do not have ops, and that's a good thing, brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's like, I've just seen that happen over and over again. I had to say it out loud because I'm just like, bro, I know you personally. I know you my whole life. Like, you don't have any apps. You don't need to leave the city. If you need to leave the city for like in our last episode last week, we talked about to find creativity, to be in a different environment, to inspire. That's one thing. But respect that that's the reason you're going. Make sure you're intentional about that. Don't go because people are after you or you think that you can't succeed here because everybody's haters. Because guess what? You're going to move to L.A. and New York, and you're going to find some haters there too.
But you know what's crazy, though, man? L.A., I think, has the highest homeless rate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
L.A., all the care bro, I lived in San Diego, Santa Cruz,
but
L.A.
This is my thing,
homelessness
though, man.
is
a lot
crazy.
Of people, they'll bite the bullet and move there and, like, think it's going to go the way it's going to go. But then, like, they're in a tent in downtown. And it's so screwed up, bro. Like, it's just screwed. I mean, my first time ever going to LA, I went with one of my best friends. Man, it was a crazy trip, but I could say I enjoyed it. We stayed in downtown LA, and I'm literally I'm walking through like the fashion district. I'm seeing a guy literally trying to bite his own ear, bro. On some crazy shit, you know. So it was definitely, it was interesting, man. It was
Homelessness is very real out there, and
Yeah.
I think what the typical pipeline from like just having conversations with people out there. I'm not saying this happens to everybody, but in terms of like homeless people that move out there from different places, they move out there, they have no family already, that they're not really tight with their family. They move out there with hopes and dreams. They fall into the wrong crowd, start using some different things. They start, they don't have housing because they're not finding work, because they're not hustling the way they're supposed to be and getting distracted. And then they just fall through the pipeline of getting lost in the sauce. Next thing you know, it moves like that. But yeah, I mean, whole point being like, if you're going to move and go to a different city, cool. Just make sure you're doing it with intention and understand the reason behind doing it. Don't do it because you feel like you can't succeed or that people are trying to get you in your city. Certain people, that is the reality. But for the majority of y'all, if you love your city, you love your town, then just leave when you need to leave, like my boy Yazn has been doing. So let's talk about, the future of designers and young creators. Like, how do you think they're going to, like, let's say the next 13, 14, 15-year-olds, where do you think that they're going to find inspiration and learn? Do you think they're still going to be using TikTok and YouTube to just learn how to create clothes and, be inspired? Or do you feel like it's going to be from hip hop? Like, people who are the people above us, they learned a lot and got into fashion because of hip hop culture and all the dope shit like Diddy and all these people were wearing in the early years. Like, who do you think is going to inspire the next like 10, 11, 12-year-olds? Like,
I'm gonna say hip hop, bro.
Hip hop still.
Hip hop, the internet. I mean, bro, in my opinion, I feel like we're in the early stages of the internet. Things are about things 10 years from now could get
wicked.
Wilder. Yeah, with technology and all that. And yeah, I still think the internet is gonna be the wave. It's the whole fashion thing on TikTok and everybody doing it. And I just had a good talk with a buddy of mine. Shout out to Beat Billionaire. I was telling him, I said, because he was telling me, he was like, bro, you need to post on TikTok. And I was like, I know, but everybody's doing it. Everybody's making clothes and posting it in process and this and that. And he was like, it's no way around it. What are you going to do, just not post? So that's when I was like, yeah. I mean, my friends tell me that too.
Yeah, and then on the flip side of that, like, just on that same topic, is everyone that's doing it ain't gonna do it the same way you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the reason that each one of these people are able to build large followings, or not, maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's 5 million, but the reason why everyone's able to build a following online is because everyone desires and needs somebody to speak to them in a certain way. Like, I might see a dude's content making fashion, and they might post in their captions, and I might be like, this is a really whack way of writing your caption, and like just not enjoy it. So now I don't follow them. Their clothes might have been dope, but because the way they communicate didn't match with me and like just wasn't fucking with my vibe, now I can't really continue to consume their content. But you might pop out, make a TikTok video about how to drop or create a backpack the same way somebody else made, but your voice resonates with me more.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the approach that you like. I feel like a lot of creators need to come into content creation with this. Like, your voice is different than everyone else's voice. You can do the same style of creation, but at the end of the day, the way you speak, talk, look will always be different. Like, you will always be unique in those three ways. You know what I'm saying? So you can say the same shit.
But here, what I'm gonna say to that is it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be in you and on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be natural.
Yeah.
If you can do it naturally, if you can. But I think I just told you last episode, like, I don't mind wearing plain shit and then pop out with something that stands out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. I mean, that's me. That's what I feel comfortable in. And I'm still going to attract people with what they're going to still notice a bag. They're still going to notice a pair of jeans or something that I designed last minute. And everything else is going to be plain.
Yeah.
I don't like all that bedazzle. No hate.
Right.
I've tried it, like I said, but it's just the plain clothes
you.
where it's at for me. I'll put out fire stuff that stands out, but
you ain't gonna see it on you.
No, you will. I mean, I gotta represent.
Right,
me,
represent the brand.
At the same time, I'm more comfortable in like dress pants.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I think, like you said, authenticity is the key with anything.
Yeah.
As long as you're authentic, you're being yourself, then that's really all that matters, because almost everything has been created before. That's my humble opinion.
You can't. You're
not going to reinvent the wheel, bro. Yep. Like, nobody's done that. You might come out with a brand that's dope, but I guarantee you some little kid in, like, Australia did it, just didn't get the attention. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It's not there's a saying that it's not who does it first, it's who does it better. Mm-hmm. I had to realize that even on my personal, my brand. Mm-hmm. Some may have done stuff that I've created, but they may be doing it better than me.
Hell yeah.
It is what it is. I'm not on to the next.
I feel it. Who does Yazn like to surround himself with? Like, when you talk about your friend base, we got MJ up in here right now. Like, when you think about your dogs and people that you also want to continue to meet in life, like, who are the type of people that attract you to them, and like are type of people that you want to be around?
Yeah. Well, I've had my friends, like I said, for like almost a decade. Mm-hmm. You know, the same people. I've met business friends, industry friends, or whatever, but those are friends for business. Mm. I mean, the people, my friends are gonna see me with the basketball shorts and the regular shirt at home chilling. Mm-hmm. You know, the industry people are gonna see me all dressed up and stuff, and I can be myself around I don't have to carry a certain image. But when I'm with the other people, I gotta conduct business and move.
So how does one, like, I guess that's what I mean. When you're building like deeper relationships with people, what are you looking for? What qualities are you looking for? Like, I can understand the segmentation between, business. Yeah. These are my business people. These are my dogs. But how can someone, and I'm like, this ain't for people to like practice so they can become your friend. I'm just asking in general. It's like, what qualities does someone portray that allows you to feel comfortable bringing them into your inner circle?
Got to be driven. Like, you got to be able to be a student. I feel like with my friend group, whatever one is weak at, the other one is strong at. Mm. Every single person is on top of their game in life, in my opinion. Everyone's trying to do something. Everyone is something.
Yeah.
Nobody's just sitting around here without no purpose. Mm. Like, whether if it's working, gym, whatever, everyone's still doing something. And I feel like when it's time to get things going, like when it's time for brand wise and I want to incorporate them, everyone's on board. It's never like I don't want to bring them here because it's gonna, I think everyone, if I was to tell them like, yo, like, this is what's going on, I think everyone's on board and they'll act accordingly until we leave.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I meet new people all the time and I build that friendship. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's still a hidden motive. Mm. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
At the end of the day, let's be realistic. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're watching this, I can't help you. Like, I can't help you. I can give you all the advice in the world that I got, and I can connect you with what I have. I can connect you with the screen printer, an embroidery company, a manufacturing company, a producer. I can connect you with that, but anything else, I'm still trying to get myself in the door. Mm. Then after that, I'd like to take care of my family.
Right.
I'd like to obviously be able to, and any way I could help my friends, vice versa, like, I'd like to do that. And then I'm open to being able to help people. So that's just what it is. I feel like it's a hidden motive with a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, I want to say a lot of people in general, but definitely people who have a business or run a business basically struggle with that, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I have my dogs. Like, these are my dogs. They liked me when I didn't even know how to, like, paint. You know what I'm saying? Or cut a pair of jeans. Like, they knew me before I even liked fashion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or, for me, they knew me before I even liked fitness. They knew me before I even knew what a podcast was or was even interested in studying and understanding businesses, right? So it's like, when you get to a point where you have something of value that you can provide to people and you know that you have that, it becomes sort of an internal fear that someone is coming around just so they can get something from you. Like, my podcast is not popping, but a lot of y'all, I already know people was like following me and sliding into my DMs. Like, I like what you doing. It's like, dog, you haven't even watched the episode. Yeah. And I know you haven't watched the episode because guess what? I posted the thing that you liked like 2 minutes ago and the episode is an hour long. You haven't watched it, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. And so I know that they trying to get on the episode. It's like, dog, like, I will come to you. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something dope, I'll come to you. And that don't got nothing to do with me being up to you, bro. No. It's just like, if you're going to come on my show, I got to want you to come on my show. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have something to talk about.
Right. Or we got to have something to talk about. And so it's the same thing.
You can't be socially awkward. Bro, right. I watch a lot of podcasts and listen to a lot of stuff. But this generation is so socially awkward. Bro, they can't even talk.
Bro,
like
it's
they
real.
Just sit there and they're like, I'm like, bro, speak up. Like, speak up and
like that TikTok trend. Speak up. So speak up.
And part of it may be they're high or on lean or whatever the fuck.
Or just don't interact with people because they're on TikTok all day watching stuff.
True.
Yeah. And that's also a reality that, we gotta accept is coming. So I want to jump back into like inspirations in a certain light though. Like, are you also like super passionate or into art or music? Are there things outside of fashion that really inspire you and help you inside of your brand and your creations? Do you like documentaries? But I mean specifically that inspire you in your work. Is there anything outside of fashion that inspires your work inside of fashion?
I like listening to people who's very good at what they do when it comes to like music, whether they're music executives or big, just a lot of artists inspire me. When I sit there and watch how they move, like the Dame Dashes, Puff, people like that.
Yeah.
I want to say listen to people like that. It kind of taught me to move with a bit of aggression. With the industry, not to tolerate any sort of disrespect when it comes to what I do, any of that, So, yeah, bro, like that's what it is. Like, it's just listening to people who are just successful at what they do.
Yeah, and
music, Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
yeah.
Are these like are these people who just like kind of allow you to get your mind right in terms of just how you approach things in life in general? So like Grant Cardone talks a lot about, real estate, but he also has a lot of messages outside of real estate in terms of the mindset that you have to have to get to the money. So are you saying like some of these people like Dame Dash, Grant Cardone, just, big inspirational figures kind of help shape your mental approach and mental framework to how you approach life when you go out here and have to deal with the world?
Well, the first thing that would inspire me is their story. Their upbringing.
Yeah.
Because that makes me feel a lot better. Because I'm just like, I'm over here feeling some type of way about what I would be going through. But this individual who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, been through 10 times worse, and I'm over here complaining about this. Let me just put my head down, keep working. I consider myself one of the most privileged people I know. Some agree, some disagree. I'm very privileged. So when I sit back and look at people who's had it worse than me, who's had it worse, I'm not going to say worse. I didn't have it bad at all. It just gives me a bit of a reality check. It's like, okay, like I need to just keep moving.
Changes your perspective. Allows you to have a different point of view.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And then in the same light, like when you think about, success and people who are successful, the internet shapes a lot of people's opinions around what success might be or should look like. But for you, Yazn, like from Kansas City, fashion designer, creating dope shit, like what does success look like to you? Is it just creating, like you create a dope piece and you're like, man, I'm feeling successful, or success like having a certain car, or success doing something for your family? Like, and don't feel like you have to rush to answer this question, but like just success in general, like when you think about success for Yazn, what does that look like for you? I feel like I just said success like 37 times. That shit was crazy.
My definition of success is my brand being completely global, waking up and not having a care in the like just being like I'm gonna bring up materialistic things. I mean, owning a lot of properties, being able to fund things that my family would come to me and be like, hey, that's my definition. Being able to take, because I mean, when I get to where I want to be, yeah, I can make a lot of money, but it's like I want to be able to help too. I want to be able to give back to people who are even with me from the beginning.
Right.
I'm not. I don't see myself as turning into anything else.
Just being helpful. Just being able to like not worry or feel stressed about helping somebody. If you want to help somebody, you don't got to think twice about it.
That's pretty much being helpful is my definition of success.
No,
besides the cars and I mean, I gotta.
That'll come with it, right?
But that's my definition.
Ain't Expensive Taste a Meek Mill song? I don't know.
No, Expensive Pain.
Expensive Pain. Yeah. I don't know why I just really wanted to start talking about Meek Mill, but we're not gonna do that. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Meek Mill today. Right. I seen something that made me reconsider my fan whatever. But what we will talk about is, bro, real quick, this Her Loss project. What's your thoughts on the 21 Drake link up? Have you listened yet? Yeah. Has this album in any way inspired you more as a creative, or has it just made you want to be a toxic man? Like what are you feeling like? It's her loss. It's not his loss.
Definitely her loss.
Yo, crazy.
Definitely her loss.
But anyways, how does the project make you feel? Like, what was the vibes like? Did you fuck with it?
I liked it. Couple songs, definitely. Me personally, I'm gonna say nothing beats old Drake, but it was a dope album. Very dope album. Drake
or 21, or just in general, top 3 hip hop artists that can dress really well in your opinion. So I'm asking you because you're the one that know how to dress and create stuff. I can't even give an answer to that because I don't know what's actually fly. You know what I'm saying? In terms of fashion, I'm like my guy Mark here. I like to wear just all black, all white, all blue, all green. He don't wear none of them colors. But you know what I'm saying? Like I just like plain Jane. Top 3 artists that like influence fashion right now. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna say ASAP Rocky already. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But give me the top 3. From a non-professional, I'm saying Tyler, ASAP, and but what's buddy name?
I'm gonna say Pharrell. First one.
I can fuck with that. That's valid.
I gotta do more than 3.
All right, give me 5.
So I'm gonna say Pharrell. Rocky. Offset.
That's an interesting one, but we'll take it.
I mean, I pay attention. Travis. What are we at?
We have 4. You got one more.
Say Don.
Who?
Don Toliver.
Don Toliver. Okay, I don't know much about Don Toliver yet. I haven't listened to any of his projects or followed him. I'm missing out.
Yeah,
I gotta listen.
Definitely missing out.
Am I? All right, dang. Okay, that's 3 in the room. All right, sorry, Don Toliver. I'm gonna listen to your projects, and if they fire, I'm gonna do what my guy Yazn do. I'm gonna pull up on your like DJ. I'm gonna pull up on
Shout out to this DJ. Know his DJ from here.
We'll say less. Pull up on this DJ from K. I'm like, hey, can you give me an interview?
McDaniels, man.
All right, well, shout out to them, man.
Amazing guy.
What's a question or 2 that I haven't asked you tonight that you wanted to cover when you came on the show today? Like, what are some topics that you wanted to discuss that I haven't touched on in episode 2 and episode 3? Because I want to make sure, I have certain things that I want to hear from you, which I've asked, but I want to make sure you feel like you've been able to, whether it's clear the air on certain things or just touch on the topic you've always wanted to share. But is there any question I haven't asked you today that I should have asked you?
I'm glad you avoided the love life question.
I was going to go that way too, but then I was like, nah. It's like, nah. That's why I went to Her Loss instead. Went to Her Loss projects instead.
Yeah. I don't, bro. You can ask me whatever. I don't know.
No, I respect it. Well, what I want to do is I want to tag somebody in the room in here, and I want you to share, what is something you admire about your boy MJ, and why have you guys been friends for so long? I want to see, like, we want to see. I can talk to you about fashion all day, but I want to see, like, how do you think about your friendships, and what are some things that stand out about your dog here that you've kept him close for so long?
So we've known each other since middle school. I want to say middle school. Very interesting time. Very interesting. I read my mouth a lot in middle school. Our first encounter, I think, was me just talking shit and we would try to fight in the bathroom. That was the first one. That was, and we knew somebody mutual. Let's just say we cut the middleman out. We just got closer over time. His family is definitely like my family. I basically have two families. Obviously, my blood.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, his.
Yeah.
We managed to get along. Like I said, we may have two different cultures, two different religions, two different whatever, and we still managed to get along. He's developing his like fitness journey as well, which I think after the podcast you guys connect. I mean, he's driven and loyalty. My culture is pretty it's pretty hard for, like, I don't want to say Americans, but I'd say it's pretty hard for, like, people who's not from my religion or culture to kind of like understand it. But he's been able to respect and understand it. He's well aware, like, I don't drink, so he won't
not gonna peer pressure you, right? Yeah,
stuff like that. That's pretty much everybody. It's like, what? How many people? Probably like 8 people in total. That's just my day ones, and that's it.
I love it. And so when we think about 20 years from now, Yazn is an established global fashion designer. You have kids, you have children. It's no longer her loss. It's actually her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is popping. How do you think about how you're going to manage, relationships and like family life while being in a career and a industry that is so, I guess you could say, materialistic, outward facing, not so much about family life. It's more about being outside, being everywhere, being with this person, flexing. Like, how do you see yourself managing family life, having children while being like a dope ass international fashion designer with the international brand?
Well, I want to set it straight that, like, I don't want how can I say this without coming off harsh? I want to be established and develop some sort of wealth. Then I'll settle down. Then, and I couldn't really tell you how it would all play along, but I think it would play along just fine because me personally, I'm sober everywhere I go. I don't get myself in something that I have no business myself getting in. I'm somewhere strictly business and I'm out. I move accordingly. So, and all I'm doing is getting older. So what, do I start acting up when I'm 30? That's just 30.
Hey, 30. Look, you don't never know.
But
nah, I feel you. I feel you.
My younger self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, my end goal, a lot of people would get to the places I want to get to, 10 different females and all this, and it's just not my cup of tea.
Right.
I'd like to be married and children, still be able to have my friends.
I love it. Halal. 100% halal over here, bro. So I wanna ask you 2 final questions, and number 1, I want to ask you, what are you really curious about right now outside of fashion? Like, what else is really interesting to you, really fascinating to you that you spend time studying or just like paying attention to outside of fashion?
I mean, besides me like making like making fat. Like I like to work out. I like to go. I like to go to the gym. But
He's a loyal Genesiser.
yeah, it's been, bro. I haven't been working out as much though.
That boy being loyal to Genesis at 2 a.m. That boy always go at 1 a.m.
I
like,
changed it, bro. I changed
hey,
it.
I'm happy to hear that because, I was over here, respectfully judging my friend. I'm like, boy, you need to go to sleep, man. You need to get your rest in. Every time I see my boy at Genesis, it's like 2:47 a.m. on Instagram. I'm like, dog, is they even open? How'd you get in there?
24 hours.
Hey, the one you go to, because when I was going there, they wasn't 24. I'll tell you that.
You probably went during COVID.
Yeah, I guess so, because my boy be there at 2 a.m. You was probably there at 2 a.m. during COVID, too. You got the finesse. You got the in. But either way, man, yeah, so fitness, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It just made me think about the fact that every time I see your story in the gym, I'm like, why is it 1 a.m.?
Well, bro, look, I changed my whole. We're gonna speak. Like I changed my whole schedule, kind of. Like I used to go to sleep super late. Sometimes I do, but I've been up since 5 a.m. today.
He said, I can't be up till 2 a.m. and wake up at 5.
Something just doesn't sit right with me that I'm getting up in the middle of the day. It's just because I feel I could have been able to get a whole bunch of shit done. And I'm only speaking for myself because that's just how everything. I wake up early, I get half my day done by noon.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't necessarily say fitness, but I'd say that's like one thing I do, like, and obviously spend time with my friends. I want to look into, like, I've been studying like the whole property thing. I'd like to own properties in the near future. I'd like to get into different situations like that. I would say stocks and crypto and stuff, but I just heard something today that like crypto just.
I love the way you said that. That was great. I don't know why it was funny, but it was good. Hey, but I just heard some shit today and maybe changed my mind.
But I wouldn't necessarily say change my mind. It's just I think it's gonna keep tanking. It's gonna keep going lower and lower, and some people say it's the best time to invest is like when it's super low. But my thing is, how do we know it's gonna like just go up?
Data, my boy, data. But that's a longer conversation. I wanna ask you this final question, and it's it's your last day on Earth, and I ask this typically at the end of every podcast. So I might have asked you this in 2020. So if I did, I'd love to go back and grab the clip of you answering this and then match it up with this. But it's your last day on Earth. You've lived the life you want to live. You've done everything you want to do. You became a global, well-known fashion designer. Your brand is on people you want it to be on. People are enjoying it. They identify with your story and your background and your and how you live in your life. And shit is just grand, right? You kept it 100% halal. Now you got your wife, your children. Shit is popping. You lived a great life. But now you about to die. It's your last day on Earth. And your great-great-grandchildren are sitting at your feet, and they ask you, great-great-grandpa, give me one piece of advice on how to live a good life. What you gonna tell them?
One piece of advice. Even after school, continue to be a student, and don't surround yourself with yes men. That's it.
Don't surround yourself with yes men. Don't surround yourself with yes man. Don't surround yourself with yes man. No yes man, guys. And always stay learning. My God, before we sign out, let the people know where they can find you, how they can support you, and anything else you want to leave there for the people.
So my personal Instagram is Yaz_T, 2 Z's. My brand Instagram is Yazn Global, YAZNGLOBAL. And my website is yazngglobal.com.
His future is in the name. Let's make it happen. It's your boy CI double Z. Damn, sorry, microphone. CI double ZY signing out. Make sure you leave a 5-star review because that's the only way we can grow. Let's make it happen. Saluski.